now about my journey and how I became an actress. I was a probation, I don't need notes for this. I was a probation officer for 37 years. I told you I retired. I had no plans of what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I tried a few things. I took a couple of classes. I did try a volunteer program, a few other things. They were nice. Nothing really grabbed me. It was just kind of passing the time. That was great. So a friend told me about a school that had classes. It is in Santa Monica, California. It's called Emeritus College, and it is an affiliate of Santa Monica College, and they have classes for seniors. So I went over and I looked through the schedule of classes, and I came upon a section called Theater Arts Department. Okay. I didn't know what that was, but I sure wasn't going to be an actress. I wasn't interested in that at all. And I saw a class called Scene Study. Well, not knowing anything about acting, I thought, well, I guess you just kind of sit in your chair and it goes around the room and maybe everybody at the most reads a line or two from a play and then you talk about it or analyze it or something. That's what I thought that I was getting into. So I enrolled. I thought, well, I like plays, let me try something different. My first day, I'm sitting in the class. I'm very intimidated. I walk in and everybody's talking to each other. It was obvious. They all knew each other. They'd been taking the class over and over again for a long time. I was the new kid on the block, all alone, didn't know anybody, very intimidated, very nervous. A man walks up to me, shoves some papers at me and says, "Here, you want to read this with me?" I didn't even know what he was talking about. And I went, okay, I guess so. And he walks up to the front of the room. And I'm still sitting in my seat, and he turns around and he says, "Well, come on." I'm going, "Where?" He said, "Well, up to the front of the room, we're going to read." And my heart started pounding. I thought, oh no, he expects I'm going to stand in front of a classroom full of people staring at me and judging me, and I'm supposed to say, oh, how do I get out of this? And I looked seriously at the door. I thought seriously of leaving, but I was too embarrassed to walk out. I mean, I was a mature senior after all. How could I just walk out? So I walked up to the front of the class, dragging it out as long as I could. I wasn't sure that when my mouth opened that anything would come out. I looked at the papers in my hand. It was the first scene of Death of a Salesman. Very complex play. So I started reading. My voice was so shaky, very low, I could barely get the words out. And within a couple of sentences, the strangest thing happened to me. I had no idea this was going to happen to me. I became so engrossed in the character that I completely forgot that a room full of strangers was staring at me. I read the scene. It was about 10 minutes. And when we were done, everyone clapped. They do for everybody, not that I was so great. And I looked up, and it brought me out of my trance. Oh, I'm not Linda Lohman from the play. Oh, I'm standing here in front of all these people, and I just ran for 10 minutes. Well, I want to tell you, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. And that started me on my journey of becoming an actress. 2 weeks later, my mother died. And my father, who was 85, was just lost. He was the exact opposite of me. He was very outgoing and charismatic and loved attention. And he was so depressed and withdrawn. And I invited him to come to the class with me. And we attended that class for the next 3 years. I picked him up every week for class. I wrote all the scenes that we performed in the acting class showcases. I learned about that too. Oh, you've got to perform on stage in front of an audience with costumes, with blocking, with props. Another stage fright moment. But we did it. And that's what my book is about, Adventures with Dad, a father and daughter's journey through a senior acting class. And because of that, I networked with other people in the class who were actually doing real acting jobs. I learned how to go on auditions. Each one of these I was shaking in my shoes. Each new step up, scary, scared to death. Would I make it? How would I come across? What were they thinking of me? But I did it little by little, and I gained more confidence in myself, and I got better and better. And I booked acting jobs, real paid acting jobs. I got an agent, and that's my journey. And then I wrote a book about it, and that is my journey. You don't have to do my journey. You can do your own journey. You can find your own passion. I tried something, and in my case it was a total fluke. I didn't start out looking for this. I didn't even know when I had found it. But it was something totally different, and it completely changed my life. That's why I encourage you to check out things that are different than what you've been doing all these years.